Grenada. Because all the power they was fighting, now they get it, can do nothing. Mr. Tillman, Glenn and Nazim. Things ain't happening all over the country. People saying only lies they hear. Some don't know from where the next meal coming. Things ain't happening. Some walking to no pay they getting. Only lies they hear. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. We tired with the lying. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Grenadians still suffering. Down to my partner, a true patriot vendor. Used to sell dashing, figure I could remember. Now he telling me he really under pressure. He don't know when last he give his wife $1. He can't even pay his children's school fee. The fat thing now killing we, Mr. Tillman, Glenn and Nazim. Things ain't happening all over the country. People saying only lies they hear. Some don't know from where the next meal coming. Things ain't happening. Some walking to no pay they getting. Only lies they hear. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. We tired with the lying. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Grenadians still suffering. Right in front my door, Yvonne gossing evermore. Why if I know, I will not support conmen for sure. Believe me, I can take more. Them kill Grenadian must go. Me one girl child mine in the family. Them RMC retrenchee, Mr. Tillman, Glenn and Nazim. Things ain't happening all over the country. People saying only lies they hear. Some don't know from where the next meal coming. Things ain't happening. Some walking to no pay they getting. Only lies they hear. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. We tired with the lying. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Grenadians still suffering. Them fellas spoil everything, then CCCC coming. But here's no workers waiting, not one boat I see arriving. And now election coming, they come back with the same lighting. They messed up NNP2 project, and Grenville youths don't get a work yet. Mr. Tillman, Glenn and Nazim. Things ain't happening all over the country. People saying only lies they hear. Some don't know from where the next meal coming. Things ain't happening. Some walking to no pay they getting. Only lies they hear. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. We tired with the lying. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Grenadians still suffering. My people, open your eyes for me. Things ain't happening. Them fellas mash up their own party. Only lies they hear. They even give away we all to TNT. Things ain't happening. Cause up to now I send for that we can see. Only lies they hear. I'm really tired with the tautology. Things ain't happening. Now the people calling for NNP. Only lies they hear. Things ain't happening.
For there is a wind of change, it blowing through the Spice Island. And to the people, Mr. PM, don't play with the Canadian people, cause the wind is turning around.
I said the wind of change, it blowing in the next direction. Man, the wind of change, it blowing back where you came from. Hear the people out on the streets. We want kids, we want kids. Man, they say they're tired, they can't take it. We want kids, we want kids. All you know, all you lie and cheat. We want kids, we want kids. But payback is a son of a whole. We want kids, we want kids. Hear the young ladies in the town. Listen to them. And they say they're tired of run around. Listen to them. Still waiting for some good to come. Where is it? They're waiting. Smell them and their children born in the sun. Oh Lord, Lord. Be careful, sir. Don't play with the Canadian people. The wind turn around. Woo. Open your eyes, sir. Listen, sir. We healthcare system, well, that's in array. No medication, so them nurses say. Be careful, sir. Unemployment, well, that gone up sky high, too high.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott, here with you up until 10 o'clock. It's now 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
If I know you can't hear, listen. But
Saying a special good night to all of you part of the Talking Points family.
man, the wind of change, it blowing back where you came from. Hear the people out on
Hope that you all had a wonderful and productive day today.
tired, they can't take it. We want kids, we want kids. Man, the country drowning in play. We want kids, we want kids. They will never make that mistake again. We want kids, we want kids. Hear the old people, them at home. Me granny, they say right now they feel so alone. Don't leave them.
Yes, indeed, eh?
They thought that I was coming to them. What happened to the tension? But it's like they end up with more problems.
We say a special good night to those of you joining us via 91.5, 91.9 Real FM, broadcasting out there in beautiful St. Patrick.
Boys, keep listen, sir. The wind turn around, sir. Don't play with the Grenadian people.
Also say a special good night to 94.9. Those of you listening via We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn, we hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Good night to you, Wade. Lady Fran. Kathy Albert, good night to you. Kathy Pope, good night to you. The Cathys, as I just call them, yeah.
Spider, skinny.
Yeah.
What is the next that coming?
Let me try that one.
You have a kind of chorus.
Yeah, let me hear the chorus.
If Hennessy win again, we cry it. If Hennessy win again, we ball it.
Start the thing proper, man. Yeah.
If Hennessy win again, we cry it. If Hennessy win again, we ball it. I know.
Me partner till he meet me, I tell you he vex like hell. He says by the Grenadians go vote back Dr. Mitchell. I said till he 5 years now you there, you don't have to vex. And Grenadian people are stupid, they know where to put the X and they singing no cookie eye. No cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye. No cookie eye. Bring on.
Who you voting? Tell me who you voting?
Instead of NDC walking to build the country. Look how they fighting like dog and cat in their own party. Some NDC supporters say they can't take no more. And they make Tillman get so vexed. Till he fire Joe and they singing no cookie eye. No cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye. No cookie eye.
Let me say a special good night to all of you joining on the live. Good night to you, Peter Striker Lewis. Amina Thomas, good night to you. Landon Jane, good night. Sean L. Gary, yes. Sonny Isle, good night. And Jackson, good night to you, my dear.
I know.
NDC say a wind of change was coming in the country. Some people was so sad, some was real happy. If you thought Ivan and Emily was the worst thing you see, they say NDC is the worst change to hit the country and they singing no cookie eye.
No cookie eye, eh?
No cookie eye.
Make sure you're registered and ready.
What squad? No cookie eye.
Leslie James, good night to you.
Who you voting? Tell me who you voting?
Till he afraid to call it the casino NMP go win.
Linda George, good night.
And they don't do nothing. Joe don't get ball out already, Uncle Bossing go win. Man, we fed up.
Marilyn Ferguson, good night to you.
No cookie eye.
Wallan Akwat, good night to you. McLean Mitchell, good night. Nakisha Jones.
no cookie eye, Lingan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Adorable Kathy Levine, good night.
We are the winning team. We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the
Ingrid Nelson, Enid Dakota, let me see, Ruth Thomas, good night to you. Olive McQueen, McEwen, why do I keep saying McQueen? McEwen, good night to you. And let me see who else is there. Charmaine Ragbasing, good night to you. Dennis Fabio, good night, yeah. Anne Salandi, good night. Yolan Mitchell Moraine.
that is why we bring him back, Jonah.
You know, I like how this one does start up, you know.
We are the winning team. We are the winning team. We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the LNP.
We might lose a battle, but we definitely will not lose the war, eh?
We will deliver. We are the LNP. We will deliver.
Temporary setback. I've read this book before. I know what the last chapter looks like, innit?
It's over. We will deliver.
Agnes Henry, good night to you over on the YouTube. Shenron Thomas, Sherma Jeremiah, good night to you. And Zela, how are you tonight, my dear? Carl Jones, good night to you. Wilfred Antoine, Zoe, good night to you and your father Alan and your mommy. Good night to all of you. Wilfred Antoine, Gavin Thomas, Kathleen Ledlow, Phyllis Mitchell, Faith Lynn, Harley Douglas, good night. Trajan John, good night. My good buddy Alban Harris, good night to you, bro. Maud Martin, Hermina Batiste, Cynthia Bartholomew, Anna Lewis, good night. Chief Camahon, yes man, good night to you. Gemma Warwood, Kim Creedland, Edmund Calise, Jen, good night. Marilyn Ferguson, good night to you. Deborah Laborde, Matthew Boyne, bro, what's up, Matthew? Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, you're kind of keeping far, bro. But you're listening. I know you're there, man. Velma Pascal, good night to you. I'm not seeing Mr. Adrian Watts. Good night to you, sir. And your lovely wife. I know both of you are listening. Good night to my good cousin. Yeah. Mulan, I know you're listening. Margaret, I know that you're listening as well. All right, nice. Deborah Laborde and Andrews, Ruth Thomas, Christine Otley, Cindy Thomas, Janice Mitchell, Kathleen Knights, Vanessa Lalji, Dominic Leroy, Dennis Sandy, Claude Abraham, Good Life, Eliza Bernard, Baby Daddy, Yolan Pariag. Before I get in trouble, let me say good night to Zelia. Zelia, good night to you, Emma dear. Next thing you go and you tell grandma that I don't call your name. Good night to you, Zelia, and Neela, and Namara, and Deshaun. Yeah, all of the children. We're saying a special good night to them. So Claude Abraham, good life. Eliza Bernard, Baby Daddy, Yolan Pariak, Angie, good night. Edmund Caliste, Charmaine Thomas, good night to you. Clive Raymond, I'm seeing Maxine Belfont, Lydia Isaac, Michelle Alexander, Crystal, good night to you, bro. And let me see, Carib Spice, nice, good night. Jocelyn Matheson, Tati, good night to you. Listra Abraham, Jacket Man, good night, bro. Keep the faith, bro. Keep the faith. Kenny Buckmeyer, good night. Sonia Price, Dominic Antoine, Joycelyn Francois, Rosemary Holas. Hey, good night to you, Rosemary, and the entire community. I know up there, yeah, it's the whole zone, eh? Nice. Nick Batiste, Jacinta Alves, Jackie Raymond, Gemma James, hey, Grenada Nice. Somebody actually named Grenada Nice. Good night. Ron Julian, Hillary Joseph. Good night to each and every one of you. And you know, just for you all, I'm taking this one from the top again. Yeah. Joyce Phillip, I know that you're listening. Amisha, I know that you're locked in. Sandra Pascal, I know that you're listening. Let me say a special good night to Miss Diane Gibbs. I hope you're having a wonderful night, Diane. Mrs. Brenda Hood, a special good night to you there. Mrs. Ann David Antoine, a special good night to you as well. Roland Bola, Roland Bola, Roland Bola. Mr. Roland Bola, good night.
Unemployment high, for people up slow, for this country growth.
Folks, Monday is budget day, but the real budget gonna be on Wednesday, huh? Remember, next week, Wednesday, you're gonna have the leader of His Majesty's Opposition, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. He will be delivering his response to the 2023 budget. So we know budget day for us is really on Wednesday. Yeah, that is when budget really starts. You understand?
What's your face?
That is why we bring him back, Jonah.
Every time.
Jenna Benjamin, good night. Sonia Price, good night to you. Dale Francis.
For your no investment, can't see no betterment. Only promising, but nothing happening.
Well, how me country run is of great concern. Grenada fall down, so let Jonah return. We are the LNP.
And of course, folks, we're going to keep the lines open for the entire night tonight. We know last night you just had a small window to call. So we're going to keep the lines open for the entire night tonight. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101.
Poverty rising by the hour. You don't see everybody sour.
Yes, indeed. And also remember, this Thursday, all roads lead to the St. George Northwest constituency, where Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he will be having his constituency public meeting. That's going to be taking place down there in Beaujeu. So we're looking to head on to that one. Yeah, that one, I feel watch. Okay, yeah, I feel I will make it to that particular one. Yeah, I mean, I can't do the doc that. I had to try and make a little turn. Yeah, man, I had to try and make a little pass in that one. Nice. And also, let me let you all know that Flavor King Barbecue, in collaboration with the New National Party Southeast Women's Empowerment Group, they're having a barbecue, and that's taking place this Saturday at Richmond Hill. Barbecue chicken $10, barbecue pork $15, rolls and cakes also on sale. So that's taking place this Saturday. They have barbecue chicken at $10, barbecue portions at pork. There, that's pork, right? At $15. Location at Richmond Hill. One thing I'm not seeing, my good friend, I'm not seeing the time that you all starting. Yeah, I need to see the time that you all starting. So that is Flavor King Barbecue in collaboration with the Southeast Women's Group, the St. George Southeast Women's Group. They're having that barbecue sale up there in Richmond Hill. And that's somebody from up there, call, tell me the exact location and time you're starting. I assume it's going to be around 11 and so, but just in case I wrong, yeah, let me know. All right. Also, the St. David's Women's Arm, they are having their barbecue sale taking place this Friday. And let me tell you, the ladies up in St. David's there, when they give you a barbecue, you're biting through the bone. Yeah, but you're biting the bone, I tell you. Yeah. The thing does taste nice. All right, so they're starting around 11. That's going to be at the constituency office up there, the New National Party constituency office up there in La Sagesse. You could get in contact with any member of the executive there in St. David, or just make a little pass up and so on, man. There are drinks on sale, a different thing. Nice, yeah. You can leave a little something there. Yeah, leave a little drink inside. I will pass for it. All right, nice, yeah. Or you can leave a barbecue there for me. I will pass for it. Just pay for it. I will pass for it. All right, nice. Beautiful. And I think we've got a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Of course, let me lock in that call that's coming through on the WhatsApp. And let me just make sure. Nice, we've got them. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Hold on, man.
I'm quite fine.
I just hear announcement about the meeting come Thursday coming at Busheju. That meeting will be a massive meeting. We are asking everyone, Northwest, everyone, Children Competimatic, come out to this meeting to hear what the what the opposition leaders and his team have to say about the situation we're going on in our country, because Brother Sheldon, things are very bad in the country. Things are very bad. Brother Sheldon, people going in the hospital have pain on the chest. They do surgery. They actually attending to them and they're sending them to get medication. Medication price is very high. By the time they come back with medication, the people die. Right? No medication in the hospital. People then get to work. Who was working there out of a job? And one of the former may be happy they are going to get medication for them. And they catching the hell to get medication. They have the money, but by the time they get the medication, and they return back for to administer the medication to them, they pass away. Whereas Sheldon, the hospital become a place where people afraid to go. They're afraid to go there because there is a minister of health. What are the minister doing? He come on TV and he's saying medication is there where they get medication. Whenever people go in hospital and in different place in health center and they get medication, they cannot get it. Sometimes they have to go in town to get medication. And then when they go in different pharmacies, there is no medication. Right? No medication, but Russia things is bad. And I always say, I will continue to say, under NMP, yes, you never find a perfect thing, but the health sector was much better off. Much better off. Right now, Russia things are bad when concerning health. And not only health, a lot of sectors in the country, instead of they improve, they're going down. We cannot say the country have money. Because remember the Prime Minister said when they came into government, the treasury was pregnant with money. But where are the money going? Where are the money spending? The money are going on traveling and hiring people in the whole ministry of MIT to victimize people. That way they're spending the money. So I've said, Brother Sheldon, the greatest asset to a country is people. Right? Is people. The people you have to look after. Not a building put up sign all about the place. And somebody sign they putting up. I see some sign they put up where they say CBI project with CBI. CBI has nothing to do with that. When they put up the sign, Brother Sheldon, that project that was done under the previous government. Right?
No, my brother, hold on, my brother. Now, on this program, when we give out information, we want the information to be truthful and factual. The signs that they have put up are by projects that were funded through CBI under the last administration. I don't want folks going out there to give wrong information. That's why I'll stop you and correct you if information you're giving is incorrect. So the reason they've put the signs there is that the funding for those particular projects, either partially or wholly, came through the National Transformation Fund, which is funded through CBI. Hence the reason they put those signs there. Yeah. So go ahead.
I thought they put it and say they might do. Okay?
No. I'm just offering clarity. We don't want people leave the program with the wrong idea to go out there and say something that's wrong. So go ahead. Yeah.
That's one thing with the Brother Sheldon and that program. Whenever we call and they say something that you start and correct them.
Yeah. But go ahead. Yeah.
Right? And Brother Sheldon, it becomes now that to get official passport, integrity and a good conduct. To get official passport, right now you have to discredit and display a form of disrespect to the churches, the elders in the country, and all people get CBI passport.
Not a CBI passport.
so not CBI, official passport, Brother Sheldon. You have a man that was cursing the church, cursing everybody, and he was saying the people who put that the ice green and gold jersey, Brother Sheldon, they are clogs, right?
Well, so then let me just protect myself here. There are individuals that would like to take this program to court to get it off air. There are individuals that would like to see me in court. What you have done without even calling a name is made an inference in relation to an individual having an article that I have no knowledge that they have. So let's be careful. Okay. Yeah? Okay, let's be careful. Okay. Nice. Go ahead.
Hey, that was said I think before election, that was said, okay?
Mm-hmm. No, not what they said, but you've made an inference in relation to them having an article that I have no knowledge of them having. Okay. I've heard rumors, but I don't know that they have it. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it is alleged, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon. I want to say again to people. Yes, we have to respect our independence, right? And I do believe Independent Day, everyone should be celebrated. Because I remember, Brother Sheldon, also, when we was in the celebration of Independence Day, a group of people used to always take us one section of the Ghanaian people and go down in common hand. And you have right now, when they are calling for unity, you cannot get unity. So when you bring in division, unity only comes, Brother Sheldon, when you try to bring people together, right? And when you, Brother Sheldon, you look up, I know during NMP time, in during NMP, By now, so you say in the place, they would find the place, doing the cleaning up for independent day. But Russia land right now, you don't see anything. You don't see nothing.
All right.
Right?
Okay,
And
caller.
amongst the money that is spent, our 7.7 million dollars for independent, you can't see nothing going on in the country right now concerning independent. So Russia, that's my
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you. Right, 4407377. You know me. I like to try to maintain a particular standard. So if something is being said and I know for a fact that it's not true, or I don't know for a fact, I'm going to correct it, yeah? 4407377. That's the number for you to call and get on the inside, and 347-329-3101. Now, the issue at hand of the Samoa agreement, I realize that there are many people out there that are hoping that we forget this in this this document. There are a lot of people out there that are hoping that we don't bother with this document. Let me tell you something. In any other normal democracy out there, a head or heads would have to roll. Somebody would have to go home for what has happened. We heard both our Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs giving us the assurance, giving us assurances that said document would not be signed until such a time that they have properly reviewed the document. In other words, that they take the time and read through the thing. That is what they told us, that they would take the time, they would read through the document, and that they would ensure that whatever is signed is to the benefit of the Grenadian people. That is what we were told. That is what, in fact, you know what? Let me play it for you, because you know we don't just like to say it. We like to play it. We want you to hear what was said. And before I go to that, let me just take this call. Hello, good night.
Good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hey, good night, sir.
Senator Scott, I think my government had to have a next press conference to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique and come clear to tell them what was going on, that he, the Prime Minister, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs did not know that that document was signed. I listened to Sister Evelyn Pierre, and she sung like a leader to me. And I felt so good to know, other than Dr. Mitchell, that we have someone in the party who is that strong with their voice. And that is good news.
Mm-hmm.
That is very good news, because I was waiting and keep waiting. I want to know who's going to step up. I'm sure the Grenadian people, not only Dr. Mitchell, we have someone else, you know, who's stepping up. And if you listen to her voice, Sheldon, it sounds like someone who is stepping up to the table. And I wish her all the best. And the whole organization. But then we go back again to the Foreign Minister and the Prime Minister. Is either the Prime Minister is not doing his job, or he totally lying to the Grenadian people and the rest of the world. And to me, he think he could get away with anything in Grenada. Because Grenadians don't demonstrate, they don't say nothing, they just allowing the Prime Minister to do and say what he wants. You understand? Because he is not responsible, then let the deputy one be responsible. You have a deputy, you know. You have a deputy. So he don't know because he's traveling so much that he don't know. But you know what's going on in St. Lucia. He could have read what's going on in St. Lucia, but he cannot read anything about Grenada. Just think about it. But he think we are stupid. Because before, 3 months ago, when the Minister of Education, he hired for 2 weeks, Sheldon. For 2 weeks, they can't find him. When the union leader for the teachers at the time came out and say, well, they tried to tell them something about the kids, and they was not comfortable with that. I remember, I don't know if you could remember, but
yes, of course. He said that it's coming. It's coming. I remember him with that. Yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah.
He said it's coming. You don't know what we making all this fuss for. But now it come. They're saying they don't know. I thought you as Prime Minister, your Foreign Minister of Affairs supposed to report to you. You are the boss. You understand? And if he didn't report to you, so who will he report to? So who will find? Who has to go? This is Grenada. Someone has to go. Sheldon, we have to get an interview with the ambassador, the consular, how you call him, where he's in Belgium or where he is. He has to tell us who give him the rights to sign that documents. This thing cannot stop so. It cannot end like that. So the Prime Minister has to come back to the Grenadian people. In the first place, we should have a referendum on this thing. Because we are a Christian state. Grenadians go to church every Sunday in the morning. Before 12, the whole place quiet. Everybody going to church on Sunday, God. Now we want to throw the Bible inside the garbage. I'm saying everything in this thing is bad enough, Sheldon. There's a lot of good things there. But you have to take your time and read it and explain it to the Grenadian people.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, Claudette Joseph, the minister, should come forward now. She always quick to come forward and say this and say that. She should come forward right now and tell the Grenadian people, because she's the Attorney General, come forward. Not only when the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, you should be right there, Claudette, explaining everything. You were sitting down with Tillman and was explaining all kind of rights and wrong for Grenada.
Remember, my friend, in the year 2016, when we had the referendum coming up in relation to the issue of amending the Constitution, it was the same person who now holds the office of Attorney General of Grenada, one person by the name of Claudette Joseph, that was the one arguing there that there were loopholes in the document that Grenadians put together, and I know for a fact had no loophole for that. She was the one arguing, but how come she didn't see the loophole in this document that they had since July the 14th? How come she didn't see the loophole in it now that it was signed? And they can't say that it was just signed like that. The man went and signed on you. No. It's between two things. Either they lying or they irresponsible.
I'm talking to friends outside here from other countries. You know what I mean? Jamaican, Trinidadian, Vincentian, people from Antigua. They say no way a man could just go and sign anything like that. This is life and death. You understand me? The Constitution has to be changed. That is signed there now. Every time they have to amend this and amend that now and get it right, Sheldon. This thing just started now. That's what I'm saying. The minister, if he's listening, he has to come back to the people and tell the people where it went wrong. Do not have the one who wanted a free passport and when Dr. Mitchell tell him no. Yes, I mean, you don't work like that. He hates Dr. Mitchell for life. No, you get a free passport like you go in the States. and be ambassador for this and ambassador for that, trying to twist up his mouth and trying to come and tell us something different.
You know one of the
We are not
problems.
stupid, you know.
Well, hold on. You know one of the problems I have with that? The individual asked for a diplomatic passport. Dr. Mitchell said he can't do that. But he told the individual that here's what I will do. Anytime you need to travel, let me know. I'll contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and they will provide certain assistance to you, and your then wife would provide you with assistance. In other words, since that individual's wife was sick at the point in time, they would be allowed to go to the VIP lounge, they would be assisted, and so they just would not have a diplomatic passport because you were not representing Grenada at that level. But Dr. Mitchell said, listen, we will assist you. Yeah? Instead of telling people that they just come and start to act about passports and different. But anyway, that's water under the bridge.
Yeah, that's what's under the tunnel right now.
Yeah.
You understand me? So let me don't let that bother us. The truth will always be the truth.
Of course.
The truth will always be the truth. And you must come to the Grenadian people. Mr. Prime Minister, I hope you're hearing me. I'm speaking from all the way from Canada. And what we're hearing outside here is not good. It's smelling. You understand? We never see you with a wife or a girlfriend. We don't know what you're doing, but we leave it as that. It's up to you to come and tell us when you're getting married, if you're getting married, or if that's the way you want to run the country.
Well, my
it's
friend,
up to you.
I would say
But
it's
please,
up to them. That's a private thing. But anyhow.
Yes. But please, tell us what is going on inside that document. You say you don't read it. You don't read it, but you know what the bishop from Trinidad and Tobago was saying? So you're reading his words, but you're not reading what you're supposed to read. You're not reading what you're supposed to read for the Grenadian people, but you could tell us what. So you're good in foreigners, yeah? You're good in the foreign thing. You could always tell us a foreigners thing. You know about foreign, but you don't know about your own people. Anyhow, Sheldon, you have a good one.
All right, brother. All right, 4407377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And as I did tell you, I want to play because it's important to remind you of what was said. Because you don't want to be going out there and quoting things wrong. You want to be able to say what was said. But before I go to that as well, let me just let you all know the St. George Northwest Fundraising Committee, yes, Dr. Mitchell's constituency, they're having their fundraising barbecue. That's taking place this Friday. They have barbecue chicken, rice, potato salad, green salad, chicken and fish. All right, so you can order your tickets before they are sold out. 440-1382. Let me give that number again, 440-1382-1382. So you could call them in the morning after 8. Right, and you organize because they're having their fundraising barbecue. All right, so let's get to what the Prime Minister had to say and them kind of thing there. Yeah, let me hear what the PM had to say in relation to the Samoa document and what they said in relation to that.
All right, good afternoon, Prime Minister Nakita Wells with WPG 10. The recently signed Samoa agreement came under some fire from a Trinidad Archbishop who claims that signatories of the agreement would have to implement LGBTQ and sorry, I lost the question. I'm coming back. Yes, so he said that they would have to impose abortion legislation and transgender and LGBTQ comprehensive education. Can you shed some light on that for us, please? Thank you.
Well, first I'll ask the Minister for Foreign Affairs, I think, to address where Grenada is in relation to that agreement, and then I can share my general comments on, I think, the Archbishop's comments.
Sure.
Good. So, thus far, Grenada and a number of other CARICOM and some other countries in the Pacific and African region of the OACPS have not yet signed Trinidad and Tobago has not yet signed. I do not believe that Jamaica has signed at this moment. So there's a window.
Folks, just remember the point in time that the minister is saying this, La Chapelle passing in Brussels, Yeah, just remember that. Either it had already passed or it was passing in Brussels while the minister was saying Grenada has not yet signed.
Have not yet signed. Trinidad and Tobago has not yet signed. I do not believe that Jamaica has signed at this moment. So there's a window for countries to sign. And I don't believe that, well, Grenada for sure, we are not willing to surrender our sovereignty to any international organization. And if there is any part of any proposed agreement that is inconsistent with our Constitution and with our values, we'll think very long and hard before entering into any such agreement.
I don't know if you still need to get my view.
You can, if you so desire.
Well, I think, whether it's international agreements or not, morality and values, to a large extent, defined by the culture of any particular country or any particular region. And so, questions about, certainly the questions raised by the comments of the Archbishop, I think, are always good. They're questions for debate. They're questions about what leadership involves or it doesn't involve. But I always want to say, first and foremost, morality is a private issue. That's one. We have to bear that in mind. Two, certainly in the context of the region, we've had separation of church and state a long time ago. And three, from a public perspective, the government deals with law and what's legal or what's not legal. And so we have to be careful that we do not blur the line between private morality and law. And I certainly think from our perspective, the morality of other countries is not something that should be imposed on the morality of other countries. Nor, in my view, should it be tied to aid, because it essentially means other countries are trying to impose either their morality or their public policy on other countries by tying it to aid. So that's not, philosophically, that's not something we support. Our approach is if a country intends to engage in, whether it's grant funding, aid funding, or loans with us, those are commercial matters. And from our perspective, it is commercial terms that should govern them. If you attempt to impose what I would call morality issues into them, then I think certainly from our perspective, we view the two as separate, and it is not likely that this government will simply sign because we need to get some grant funding or some aid funding. So to that extent,
Yeah, Dan, remember, this is the same day that the thing was signed, that this country will not sign simply to get some grant funding or some aid and so on. Yeah, just remember, this is the same day that this thing was signed that your Prime Minister was saying this to you.
Separate, and it is not likely that this government will simply sign because we need to get some grant funding or some aid funding. So to that extent, the bishop's views are obviously his.
So you realize the pause there. That's I wonder if I hold them, boy. Let me throw out something else there. So let me get back the pause there. What's the pause and what's the expression?
Grant funding or some aid funding. So to that extent, the bishop's views are obviously his. And the sense I got from his comments is, I don't know, and that's one of the things I have to say. I myself have not read the agreement. So I can't tell you whether the agreement says the things that people are saying it says.
Just remember, this was an agreement that was signed on the same day that you're talking about, that the Prime Minister of your country is saying that he did not read. An agreement that was available to the government of Grenada since the 14th of July, per what we have researched and found out. You were told that last night by none less than Mr. Oliver Joseph, and it was verified that since the 14th of July, said document was available to the government of Grenada. But maybe some people aren't playing too much, so they don't have time to read the document. So let's just hear again.
I myself have not read the agreement.
Yeah, your Prime Minister said that to you, Not me that say it. They make sure they put up his name when he's saying it, so you know who's saying it too,
Because we need to get some grant funding or some aid funding. So to that extent, the bishop's views are obviously his. And the sense I got from his comments is, I don't know, and that's one of the things I have to say. I myself have not read the agreement. So I can't tell you whether the agreement says the things that people are saying it says. I suspect at the end of the day, our technocrats and bureaucrats who go through the agreement will best be in a position to tell us exactly what the agreements actually state.
Yes, folks. So you heard that there. You heard that there from the none other than the Prime Minister himself. Yeah? Wasn't anybody else tell you all of that day? It was the Prime Minister that was talking, innit? Yeah, he that tell you all of that there, and you heard Mr. Andal, and Grenada had not signed, and it is not likely that Grenada will sign, and that kind of thing. And then, yeah, so you heard it. Yeah? You heard it yourself. Now, remember, these are the same people that just week before was trying to get members of the new National Party to go and sit down in a Accounts Finance Committee meeting. Yeah? In a Finance Committee meeting, they were trying to get the members of the new National Party to go and sit there to go over a document that's most likely this big in just a couple days. Yet still from the 14th of July to now, they can't go through a document basically the same size. We've got a call online. Good night.
Good morning, sir.
Good night to you.
What the Prime Minister say? Morality is a private issue.
Yeah, he says that's a private issue.
Let the man know that righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to any people. Then why you lock up people for using profanity on the street? If it's private, that's morality too. Why you charging them and locking them up? He's a lawyer.
But our laws are nearly most of our laws, especially the basic laws in criminal law and so on, they are based on a particular moral code. In every country, there's a moral code, and the moral code tends to dictate the laws. So your moral code tells you that you can't interfere with little children. And because your moral code says that, there are laws that direct that is wrong, that is not accepted in our society. Yeah?
And the majority of it is based on the word. The majority of the laws stem from the word, the morality, where it's from the laws of the country.
Whether it's the Bible or the Quran or whatever, it is based, the moral code tends to come from a place of religion. Yeah? Whether people agree with religion or not, that's where the moral code stems from. And your laws are generally based on that moral code. So it says you have your commandments. You say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And your laws are based on those.
Based on that, yeah. Back it up. And when you violate that and God have no saying or no doing in your moral activities, then you pay the consequences. Crime is on the rise now. When God is not there, who will take a chance? Two powers rule the world, good or evil. And if good is not present, evil will dominate.
Of course.
So we got to get down. We got to keep praying.
Of course, my brother.
And that cunning smile. All right, have a great night.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes, indeed. 4407377 and 347-329. Yeah, so that is what you remember. That is not me that was saying that. That's the Prime Minister. We have another caller online. Good night. Hello. Caller, you're live. Hello. Somebody's phone may have called back. I'm not sure. But you know, what was interesting was hearing the Deputy PRO and Minister, not Minister, he's the what? Ambassador for Diaspora Affairs, to hear him trying to defend that nonsense yesterday morning. To hear him, in fact, let's see a bit of what he had to say.
9 member states. A few, maybe about less than half a dozen, are still studying the document because of the enormity of it. And Grenada was still studying the document. Now, our ambassador in Brussels, there was a little bit of time lapse.
Mr. Terence Forrester, you lie. Yeah? You lie, and you lie. All right? Teacher Percy, if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you lie. All right? So let's continue to hear what Mr. Forrester had to say.
Between the instructions given to him and the press conference. And at the time of the press conference, that information was not yet shared with the ambassador. So there was a little bit of mishap and mistiming.
Mishap? You have signed a document that says that Grenada need to change the constitution and change your laws and so on, and that is a mishap? That is how you describe that? That is how easy and so people supposed to take this thing, that this is nothing. Don't worry, nothing to see here. Continue, walk along. Yeah? That you have to change your constitution and so on. And don't give me that stupidness about you have to go to a referendum to change your constitution. Don't give me that nonsense, eh? Yeah, let's take this call. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night, my dear.
Again, we have a new minister or prime minister of morality.
It seems so.
Yeah. Yeah, because the prime minister talking about morality, but I want to say, I want to say, his morality has no value because someone had invited him, so somebody who has to get an award in a prestige home in England. The gentleman could not go to receive the award by himself because he's in a wheelchair. He asked for one of the caregivers to accompany him. He said no. Anything as that have to happen, the person have to pay their own passage to come over where he was, where the award was going to take place. In the gala. And then they asked him if he could come over to the place. And I will tell you the place, that prestige home. And he said no. He never go. I will save the name of the place for later.
All right.
I was going to say, but I just keep it back.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a prestige home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
All right, my dear.
And then you come in and talking about moral and value. You as the prime minister, I bet you if a Dr. Kit Mitchell get that invitation, he would have gone. He would have gone. Huh?
You are about your country's business, and therefore the people of your country, wherever they are, you go, you meet with them, you interact with them, and you do your best.
And that man who had to get that award is the man who started Notting Hill Carnival. Yeah? He's a Grenadian man. He's a Grenadian man. He's the one who started Notting Hill Carnival. Oh.
All right, my dear.
We'll
follow up on this one. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. 440-7377. Yeah, so you heard Mr. Forrester, but you also heard last night from Mr. Oliver Joseph. You heard several things from Mr. Oliver Joseph last night. One of them was that in order for this document to be signed, any document that has to be signed on behalf of the state of Grenada, there's a chain of command and request that has to go through. The ambassador will ask the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs whether or not they should sign. The same happens if you're going to a United Nations meeting or a UNESCO meeting, etc., and there's a vote and you have to vote. You will definitely have to find out from base. In other words, you have to find out from the ministry if you are allowed to vote yes, no, abstain. You don't just go and abstain. You don't just go and vote yes. You don't just go and vote no. You have to have permission to vote in a particular way. So, you as the ambassador, you have to contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the permanent secretary there. Now, the permanent secretary is not the person that's going to tell you yes or no. They are going to pass on the instructions of the minister. So all that the permanent secretary does is that the permanent secretary would then speak to the minister, who in this case is Mr. Joseph Andal, the same man you see talking a while ago. The permanent secretary would speak to the minister whether or not person A or B is supposed to sign or not sign, vote yes, no, abstain, whatever it is. The minister cannot make that declaration in his own judgment. This is a document that has to be signed on behalf of each and every Grenadian. When that Lasha signature pass date, pass on behalf of me and you and everybody else. So before that can be done, the minister has to consult with cabinet. So cabinet, of which the prime minister, who didn't seem to know, because it's either he lie or he's irresponsible. It's one or the other. There's no middle ground, no gray area. There's no other field of thought on this. It's either the prime minister is lying or he's irresponsible. Yeah? Because he is the chairperson of cabinet. And this issue of this document and what it contains, and we're not just speaking about the opportunities, we're speaking about the other aspects of it that speak to your constitution. Constitutions are mentioned 7 times in that document. No, you all think I didn't read it? I read it. 7 times in that document, constitutions are mentioned. That you would adjust your constitution, I'm just paraphrasing here, to suit the agenda of what they're trying to push. And they didn't say you may, you know. They say you shall. Over 1,000 times the word shall is mentioned in that document. They don't give you an option. The word shall means that you have to. When you have that in a law, in a document like this, it means that you are bonded. You are bound by your signature to do what they tell you have to do. And if you break that bond, there are consequences. Yeah? So it is not as easy to say that you're going to pull out of the agreement and the arrangement. Yeah? There's a procedure for that. And you heard again from Mr. Joseph last night, at least that to get out is going to take at least 5 years and all of that. And in the interim, you're still bound by the document. I know of several instances here in Grenada where they're going to blacklist you. So the foreign agencies, they tell you, or the countries tell you, listen, we're going to blacklist you unless you change that law. Unless you amend this part of your legislation, we are going to blacklist you. And then you see they have to have special sitting at parliament, everybody have to rush in because you realize they just tell you that last week and the deadline is this week. Sometimes they give you short notice. So your legal drafters have to run now and go and do what they have to do. And you have to rush to parliament to ensure that you pass the piece of legislation to fall in line with international standards as they see it in relation to the financial sphere mainly, so that you would not be blacklisted, and as such you would be able to access funding from different agencies and so on. But the New National Party never went to parliament to adjust any legislation in the way that these individuals are going to have to do. They're going to have to do it. And I see Mr. Forrester. Come on, Mr. Forrester. Some of us are intelligent here. You can't come and lie to the Grenadian people and say the only way to amend the Constitution of Grenada is that you have to go through a constitutional reform process. That is a lie. That is not true. And if you read the Constitution, on section 39 of the Constitution talks to the process. Section 39 of the Grenada Constitution speaks to the process of how you go about making amendments to the Constitution of Grenada. So Parliament, let me read it again. Parliament may alter any of the provisions of this Constitution or of the court's order or Section 3 of the West Indies Associated States Appeals to Privy Council Order 1967, that's a separate matter, in the manner specified in the following provisions of this section. A bill to alter the Constitution or the court's order of Section 3 of the West Indies Associated States Order 1967 shall not be regarded as passed by the House of Representatives unless on its final reading in the House the bill is supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of all the members of the House. And it goes through here to explain all aspects of how you can amend the Constitution. Remember Section 39 of the Constitution showing it to you. In case they didn't know, Section 39 of the Constitution speaks to alteration of the Constitution of Grenada. Yeah, I want you all to see it, so I'm showing you all. Right? So it speaks to the fact that once government has a 2/3 majority, as this government has, you have 15 seats, they have 10. Although I don't like to say they have 10. They have 9 and one that just, we're going to discuss that one at another date. Right? So they have 10 votes within there, as opposed to the 5 by the New National Party. They have 2/3 majority. So they can, no wonder they try to make sure that they have 10, they can make adjustments to the Constitution of Grenada. Now, there are two things. There are minor changes and there are major changes to the Constitution. Yeah, minor and major. Now, someone may say, and it may be up for debate, that simply changing a word or a sentence in the Constitution is a minor change. And as such, they don't need to go to a referendum to change one line in the Constitution. But that one line that they change in the Constitution can have a multitude of effects on the laws of Grenada. So they could change one line, and that line can include the word, at some point in the Constitution, gender equality. Yeah? Or sexual orientation. They can go to Parliament and they could change that. Yeah, they was brave enough to go and sign the document. So you mean that between the 14th of July and now, nobody read that document to know what is in it, so that the Prime Minister on the day that the document was signed was sitting before the nation saying that he read it. But there's nothing he read it, so, so well. We ain't signing it while it's being signed. Somebody needs to go home. And I ain't blaming the permanent secretary, so let me take the permanent secretary out of that calculation immediately. And I do not believe that the ambassador signed without getting authorization, as Mr. Forrester is trying to throw the ambassador under the bus. The ambassador is not a madman. This is a man been involved in this thing for over 2 decades. He's been involved in diplomacy and foreign affairs. He's not a crazy person. So he would not just go and sign. And in my belief, the buck stops with the minister. It stops with the minister. Because instructions had to be given. Let's take this call. We have a call online. Good night.
Shalom, good night. How are you, bro?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
Very good, thank God, bro.
All right, you go ahead.
With the clip you played earlier with the Prime Minister, I mean, the more I listen to the Prime Minister, the more I agree with Dr. Mitchell that he should really talk less and have very little to say. Because I just want to, the Prime Minister said that from a public perspective, government deals with law and what's legal and what's not. So we need to be careful we do not blur the lines between private morality and law. Shalon, I want you to answer me. Wasn't slavery something that was legal?
Of course slavery was legal.
And was slavery moral?
Of course it was not moral, but the people who were in charge of slavery believed that they were more moral than anybody else.
Thank you very much. So when the Prime Minister, I don't know, as I said in our previous call, the Prime Minister may be saying we are fools and he's the brightest light in the galaxy. Because I don't know how a man who is praised and elevated and held up to be so bright and brilliant and whatever else could make statements like that. Because, and I'm saying here that if, based on the Prime Minister's premise, we should forget everything about reparation and calling for justice and repayment for injustices that was done to her, because it was legal. So if on the basis of his premise or argument that there's a separation between what is moral and what is law, and saying that we have a lot of discussion to do on things that were...
Imagine as a lawyer telling you that, eh?
Exactly. We have a lot of things to look at and maybe apologize to people we accuse in the past of being unjust to us and oppressive of us. And because if they were all legal, and in the eyes of the people, as you rightly said, they saw nothing wrong with it. And they clearly was immoral, they were clearly wrong. So I'm saying the other thing I want to say to Sheldon is that I am very saddened that as a nation that's becoming of age in a sense 50 years, that we are still going to subject ourselves like, with hat in hand, going out there begging. But I shouldn't be surprised. Like, I remember the Prime Minister said Grenadians deserve a lot of money. So it means, or it seems to me, that at any cost, by any means, the Prime Minister have to get money for himself, for supposedly the country. He would do it. If as people say, sell your soul to the devil, if that is required, he will do it. And the Prime Minister is lying when he trying to put on this charade that they're not going to sign, and all of us technocrats and whoever is going to look at the document, peruse it, and see what. The Prime Minister fully well knew. And I'm not buying this thing that he didn't read the document. The Prime Minister must be apprised of what's going on with such a important document or treaty or whatever else, right? And I'm very, very disappointed in him. And I think the more I'm listening to this, the more I get to glean through more of the document. I'm just saying how disappointed I am in this government and how betrayed I think the Grenadian people feel by what has happened. The other thing is the Prime Minister saying the Archbishop's comment is his private comment. That is not true. The Archbishop was at the time conducting public worship. The Archbishop is referred to as a shepherd of souls, and his role, that's the definition of a bishop, a shepherd, right? And he was making his comment in the context of the homily based on the reading of the day, which tied in very much with what was happening. He was speaking from the position of, as they say, in persona Christi, in the person of Christ. That's a term the Catholic Church uses when the priest and so preach from the altar, preaches from the pulpit, and in the context of a public celebration. So I'm wanting to say, if based on how the Prime Minister argued, that when he went to St. Lucia and said what he said, if that was just his private comments. Because if it is so, there should not have been this uproar that it caused in St. Lucia. And I want to submit to the...
Even worse than that, if our Prime Minister so believes in morality, he would have apologized to the people of St. Lucia, personally to Mr. Alan Chasney, and then to the people of St. Lucia related to the statements that he made. Instead of that, he doubled down on it. He doesn't care.
Okay.
He doubled down. But go right ahead, caller.
Sorry?
No, I said go right ahead, yeah.
Yeah, Sheldon. So, back to what I was saying. So, the Archbishop wasn't making any private comment. The Archbishop was actually giving instruction to the flock before him and speaking on behalf, well, if you want to narrow it down to the Catholic faithful that he's called to shepherd and lead. He stood there as a watchman on their behalf because the ordinary men and women in the pew, they look to their shepherds, they look to their leaders for guidance and direction. When the Prime Minister goes to the United Nations or wherever and he speaks, once it is in a public forum, he represents and speaks on behalf of the people of Ghana. So this nonsense is a private comment of the Archbishop. That is just, I'm going to say hogwash, if you allow me, please, Sheldon. Hogwash.
Go right ahead,
and I'm very disappointed with the Prime Minister, and he lies a lot. It's not the first time I'm discovering that with him. And for those people who seem to be hell-bent on defending him, they need to really come clean. They really need to admit that the Prime Minister lied. Today I heard a certain caller on GBN who is a fixer on GBN trying to say it was a miscommunication and that kind of thing.
What miscommunication may foot? It is impossible.
Sorry,
it is impossible for it to be a miscommunication. That's madness. But go right ahead, caller. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, Sheldon, I think I'll end my comments here. Thank you
so but it's upsetting, man.
Yes, honest to God. Okay, bro. God bless you.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
Same to you. Okay. No. It's what I mean is a miscommunication. That's the line that you're all going to use on this one. That it's a miscommunication. It is not a miscommunication. There was an intent to sign. So it is either you all are lying or you all are irresponsible, and as such, somebody need to resign. So if the ambassador wants to take the fall and end his career that way, it is up to the ambassador. Otherwise, I believe that the minister, or maybe even the Prime Minister, somebody need to go. We have a caller. Good night.
Good night, children.
Hi, good night, my dear.
What is NDC motto?
I don't know which one they're using these days now. They just switch it around so much.
Well, I would really like to know what is the motto. Because I know what is the motto,
Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
The motto is lies.
Lie to the people, lie to the people.
Yeah, the motto is lies.
Oh dear. All right, my dear. Thank you. 4407377. It's 10 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. And we are taking your calls. Let me just make sure the phone lines are clear. Yes. And we've got a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Shelan.
Good night, my dear.
Shelan, every time I don't have to ask that question. I don't ask myself, when you go and study for a liar, you will continue to be a liar. If you go to study for a doctor, you will be a doctor. You study to be a nurse, you will be a nurse. And every time I just have to ask this question, the man studied to be a liar. So nobody will get nothing good from this man. It's just lies. Because every time I just understand, never see a prime minister get on like how this man gets in. And this man is not a prime minister. He didn't train for prime minister. He don't know nothing about prime minister. That is just Grenadian. He come there saying that he will give them permanent, he will give Grenada plenty money, he will this, he will that. And Grenadian just fall for this, for that. And they just fail to select him because they say he's baby Jesus, and they decide to select baby Jesus day today. He's doing so much wrong things. He's saying so much wrong things. And you will never get Grenadians to come to say, listen, how much pastor saying that time for Kit Mitchell to go all. And today, this man doing so much wrong thing, and you will never get a pastor come and say nothing. You won't get Grenadians. At night I was listening, if it's some spider, he was saying what he come and do. Morning time, I listen to a radio station. I hear a lady come saying, I like Grenada news, you know. Grenada does give so much good news because I was watching him speaking, and every time I watch the news, every time he's saying what he say, I see like a green thing coming on GBN just to stop him what he says. And morning time I hear a lady come saying she like Grenada news, Grenada don't lying, they say the truth, and he never say what he said in St. Lucia. Then I had to call and say, well, look, that's why parents does, when the children do wrong things, that's why parents will side with the children when they do wrong things and send them in misery. Because that hurt me so much. I was listening and I know the man said the thing, and he have people here what still siding with this man and say he don't say that he's hacking the truth. So Iatamada just fed up. Because if just Grenadian put Grenada like that,
it's
Grenada
lie.
was so happy.
Lie and more lies, lie.
More and more lies. Grenada was the land of, was spice or whatever, but for Grenada come the Grenada of lying. He had no good coming behind this thing, because when they give you a little roadwork, Shelan, and when they come to pay you, they shorten the little money, like if you reach like 60, you just have to get a little 350.
Mm-hmm.
They will take out the money, give you 327, like you are 60 years and you walk on the road, they give you like 327, 332, and they come in and tell you how the money cut down and thing will never get better. Thing bad and thing will never get better. So all you see, them and all saying things will never get better. They vote for betterment and things will never get better because they come in and telling you that now. So Iatamada's just fed up with we self, Grenadians are just fed up sometimes because we put Grenada so. And what this man doing right now, he didn't go there for himself. Remember, NNP had 15 seats and 9 seats come out on the NNP and go to the NDC. Today they don't say nothing. So who put Grenada so is we. So sometimes we just have to take it easy and then we have to sit down probably and fight with our own self. beat with fingers. The hand what pull them there. Sometimes we just have to beat it, knock it on the wall and say, weak as that. So I thought I was just fed up sometimes. Because we put them there, he didn't go there for himself, Grenadians select this man, this liar, to go there. So we just have to take it easy sometimes and just relax ourselves. And sometimes, when we don't studying up ourselves, sometimes things might get better. It's just like that because it happened already. They tell you, a water what fall cannot pick up. So we just have to take it easy and hold on because the tacky they that know. I don't even think it go happen. Tell them God work is so, but it's sure. One day we will forget because I just tell people, anytime you see NDC come out there, they will never go back. He will only have one government in Grenada and only one, and it will stick forever and ever. And I just say that's why you have a amen. So I just say amen. Check out, Grenada will come back happy, but NDC must come out there. Is that right? That is good. We will make it. Just have to pray hard and trust in the Lord that one day he will only have one government in Grenada and he will never have two anymore. We will come like Cuba, just see us only Castro what was there. That will come and happen to us when the right time comes. So we just have to hold on. Have a good night.
All right, caller.
Bye-bye.
440737. Oh, Jesus. I let us say some kind of thing in the chat. I don't know nothing about that now. Let's go defend all yourself in court, not me. 44073777. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. And just to let you all know that PD4 of the St. John New National Party constituency branch, you see they had massive thing down in St. John's this weekend. So they've got their fundraiser that's taking place this Saturday. And on the menu again, right next to the Grand Roy Medical Station there, they're going to have saffron chicken stew, fish, macaroni, pie, rice and peas, vegetable rice, provision, green salad, lots of things on the menu there. We have a caller and starts at 11. We have a caller. Good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon. I'm a regular listener to the program. I listen every night, and it's just a shame, to see what Grenada is going through now, and it hurts my heart.
It hurts all of us, my dear, all of us.
Because the thing about it is one thing to win an election, and it's another thing to lead and to govern. And this is what Grenadians didn't understand. You had one of the best leaders in the whole Caribbean. Dr. Mitchell has been recognized. This is what they don't understand. The people come, he did long, he get old, he had to go. Look at Biden. Look at Biden's age. Biden is walking till he even falling down and up. I mean, come on. The man has done well. The man took us through COVID. Emily, Ivan, the man did so much for Grenada, and these are the same people that say he did nothing for Grenada. This man just come out from nowhere, has no experience, don't know nothing about governing, don't know nothing about leadership. He just jump up and they just make him prime minister. You understand? I don't understand. And we've seen the repercussion of it now. I mean, we have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. You could never, there's no comparison with these people and them in the NDC with the NMP, regardless of what. Dr. Keith Mitchell is not Jesus Christ, but he did his best. Everybody could say he did his best, and the same people that stomach can say he didn't do anything, because these people are wicked. But you know what, as Kanye always say, you get a government that you deserve. Look what they bring Grenada to. Everything is party. These people acting like they're still campaigning. Independence was a mess. Everything these people doing is a mess. I mean, how we forget so quickly. You understand? But we have to do our groundwork right now. You see the youth, there's a lot of people that voted for the first time in the last election, a lot of young kids, and I think that made the difference. We lost a lot of people, a lot of older people, macho people, we lost a lot of people, and the young people, they just sway on the bandwagon, and that's what happened. Because we thought we had it in the bag, but this time we cannot think we have it in the bag. Sheldon, we got to work with the young people. They did not live under NDC the last time. When I say they did not live, they did not experience the trauma that they did in 2008. They forget too quickly. And you know what some of them was saying? It's a new setup, it's a new batch, it's not the same batch. But between me and you, this batch is worse, This batch is worse than when Nazim Bokandem was there. I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. Look at what we have. That is what Grenada reached to. It's shame. And the thing is, they have so long there again. I don't know when these people going to come out from there. We got to pray. Grenada is in a mess right now. They cannot govern this country. How much times you are going to see this thing? NDC objective is always to get rid of Keith Mitchell. Get rid of Keith Mitchell. And when they get rid of Keith Mitchell, they don't know where to start. It's like they never prepare. Right now, the Prime Minister, they can never see come see. All you do is jump in on a plane every minute. All of them just flying. They're like a laughing stock. They have no discipline in Parliament. I mean, there's so much you could say about these people. These people need to go. We have to do our groundwork, make sure people are registered, and speak to the youth, the young people. We got to speak to them. You understand? Because they get carried away. The older people, some of them wanted the little money, and because of the little pension, blah, blah, blah. And look, there's nothing taking place in the country. The money haven't even circulated. So what was the objective? Dr. Mitchell would have paid the pension. He would have paid it. There was money in the treasury. The country was governing properly. But the people and them, they take bribes. Stop taking bribes. Deacon and them have no governance. They don't know how to run a country. That is why all this mess is going on in the country. These people need to get out. So we have to prepare from now and do a lot of voting and make sure that these people will not go back, because Grenada cannot take another 5 years under these people. Trust me. Posweda couldn't even run a Calypso 10, but you have Posweda in government. I mean, this thing is so, it turns me off. It turns me off that these people and them just come and they run in Grenada. That's what Grenada come to. Look at people of high stature, Miss Emmeline Pierre. You have all these people, Miss Modest, people of class, and you all just cause these people and them to just come running Grenada. What these people and them know about running Grenada? They don't know about running the country. And that is what we're experiencing now. It's just a shame and it's a disgrace, but God is good. The time will come to an end. They're going to go. Miss Kami, good night. Cousin Kwashi, good night. God bless everybody.
All right. Thank you so very much, Ola. Yes, indeed. But it seems as though the diaspora take over tonight, because most of the calls you heard tonight are actually from outside of Grenada. Yes, and let me tell you all, what is taking place here is like a slow motion train wreck. Yeah? We all know what the outcome of what these individuals are doing now is going to be. And let me tell you all something. Let me just put you all on notice. Those of you that can put on your nice look at dandan and come to the Parliament building next week, Wednesday. Those of you that can. Because, again, inklings and tinklings. I ain't going to say what I'm hearing, but I'm hearing some kind of things about that budget for 2024. I ain't going and say what I'm hearing, but I'm hearing some kind of things in that budget. And if what I'm hearing is so, then believe me, everybody should be tuned in, or at least if you can make it there, be there on Wednesday to hear Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell with his response to the budget. Yeah? Because I really can't believe some of the things I'm hearing. I can't believe some of the things that I'm hearing. We've got a caller online. Good night.
I want to say good night to you, Sheldon. And good night to the beautiful people in Grenada, Caracon, Pichimatic. Mr. Watson, your loving wife, good night. Patty and Matthew, good night. My Jamaican friend in Brooklyn and my friend in Canada, good night. Who's listening to me? I lie down, I don't feel so good at all.
Yeah.
I don't feel so good. Somebody just say good night to me. Good night to you, sweetheart. I just want all you to know I'm here. I'm listening to the program. But I lie down, you know? Mm-hmm. Good night to everybody. And all you come and buy them damn jersey and them have a whole bag of jersey they steal. A whole bag of jersey they steal. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't mess with you all know. You don't have money. You don't have money. I put in nothing every day and I have to put it back. I put in out everything every day and I have to put it back. It's really, really rough. I'm lying. That this is the worst I experienced in Grenada over the years. I live in as a hustler on the street. It's the worst. And I have no apology. I don't want no damn prime minister. I don't want a man for my prime minister. That is my right. This is my right. I could say I don't want Dick Mitchell as my prime minister. He's not my prime minister. I'm a big woman. I'll be 67 years. And I could say I don't want it for my Prime Minister because they don't care about people. Who want to vex, who want to write thing and comment, I don't care. I don't want that man for me, for my Prime Minister. He's not my Prime Minister. Have a good night, Grenada. I don't care. And I don't sorry for somebody who had balling, you know. Yeah. I just have to call people in. I just have to call Kitwichel him. I just have to call Mr. Oliver him. Because I didn't know all him have. It's like when you have a good man in your house and he giving you whatever you have to give him. Somebody come from England for a little holiday and you pick him up for one night. He spend a big money on you and he go. Take what you get. I'm sorry for me. Let me suffer. Ban me ready for that. Peter David, good night wherever you is. Peter David, good night. And everybody. Don't want to run. That man, they are to unite. And are you hurting people? Are you take back your 150? Are you only taking care of yourself? The whole place, no social and start. This is December month. Coming for December month. Every Grenadians, they have a little road walk. They have a little road walk. They get a little fortnight to buy a little cotton and the piece of can't fit. And to buy a little ham. Nothing going on. One set of people. One set of people. All to bad mind. I don't care about Dick Mitchell. He's not my God. He's all your God. He's not my God. I don't want to have nothing to do with he, Andy, Mr. Andal. Mr. Andal come from poor people in Chantimel. You want to come and bring gay man in Grenada where two men could marry with a Christian nation. I doesn't miss with church on a Sunday. And I'm shame, I'm feeling bad. What kind of thing is that? What kind of thing is that I want to bring? You don't hear no pastor, religious people speaking. I don't want my grandchildren. What kind of thing is that? No, I don't want nothing to do with all you. I don't want to call my Prime Minister. Come and tell you, beloved Prime Minister, this is not right. God destroy a nation. Sodom and Gomorrah. You want to live your dirty life. One day you just live and push that down in people's throat. What kind of thing is that? What kind of thing is that? Lot of mercy and Grenada. Have a good night.
All right, Cami. Yeah, folks. And you see, Cami's talking about the economic situation. And there are things that have been happening. And let's just take this call. Hello, good night. Hello, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Hi, good night. Good night.
Good night, caller. You're live. Yes, go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
What I want to say tonight, right? This signing of this thing, it is in number 10 quote. Grenadians, this thing is in number 10 quote. And we are waiting to see what she will do. This is not in the Prime Minister and his cabinet thing. This is number 10 thing. Because if number 10 pull out, they have to go through a referendum. Right? They have to come back to us. Come back to us. And we will deal with them. Thank you.
All right. And the caller is making a valid point there. He put it in. Yeah, number 10 is the one that make them have a 2/3 majority. And if number 10 sides with them on this issue and they call themselves a Christian, well, yeah. But folks, Cammy mentioned something a while ago. She mentioned the economic situation here in Grenada. And what we're seeing, and again, before I do that, I want to congratulate the Royal Grenada Police Force for the excellent job that they have been doing under the trying circumstances that they have to operate. You've had quite a significant number of police. I'm seeing people that I know as police officers, and I see the grain here. And what's going on with you? Since when? You're on leave? No, I resign. You understand? And not 1, 2, or 3. I'm talking about a significant number of people that have either resigned or retired out of taken early retirement. They haven't gotten to retirement age, but they have made enough years so that they can take early retirement or resign outright out of the Royal Grenada Police Force. And to just give you an inkling, those of you that may not have seen it, this is what was found in St. Patrick over the weekend. This is what was found in one place in St. Patrick over the weekend. So we want to congratulate the Royal Grenada Police Force for taking these off of the streets. Yeah? You see what people have here? So you understand what the intentions are. We're hearing of a bread van robbery sometime within the last 48 hours or 24 hours or so. Hearing of a bread van robbery in one particular area. We know last week there was an attempt at an armed robbery. We know around Christmas last year there was a spate of robberies, gas station, all sort of thing. Man was sticking up and doing different things. We've had several gun-related murders taking place this year, and that's not with legal firearms. That's with illegal firearms. And this that I've just put up there is what was found in one location. You could imagine what it probably has out there otherwise. But this is what was found in one location. So we want to congratulate the Royal Grenada Police Force for taking these off of the streets. And we want to again ask the government to work along with the Royal Grenada Police Force to stop spiting officers because they are friends with somebody who is high up in the NNP, or they were working along with somebody who was in the New National Party, or they are a family member of somebody who is either senior or a well-known person within the New National Party. Stop spiting the police officers. Stop spiting them and work along with the officers. Remember, they did the thing the other day and they said they upgrade some and yes, some get stripe and thing. And there was supposed to be a second. Are you hear anything about the second promotion? Since when they said they're going to have a second promotion? Was it September or so they were supposed to have a second promotion? We are about to enter December this week. You hear anything about the promotion? Like, don't go scramble now. We raise it, so they scramble now. Yeah? You scramble now to try and do it. Meanwhile, police officers have to endanger themselves, ensuring that things like these. So your son or your boyfriend or your husband or your nephew or even your father or your mother or your sister or your daughter who is a police officer, this is the kind of thing that they're facing out there. It's not man with slingshot and bangonet. This is what they're facing out there. And as such, more care and consideration needs to be given to the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. You can't have people down on SSU barracks sleeping head to foot like slaves coming over on a slave ship who sleeping head to foot. You can't have that kind of thing going on. You can't have the guys down in the Coast Guard base jamming up out in a hall. You can't have that sort of thing. There should be some care and consideration for these officers. We've got a call on the line. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live.
Hi, Shalom. I'm calling from England.
Oh, good morning then.
Yes, good morning. Well, good night to you. Good morning to you. Yes, I've been listening to the program actually for the first time. I've been trying long to get on there, but finally tonight my sister told me on YouTube. And I've been following what's been going on in Grenada, and sadly I must say, and I've been also listening to the complaints of some young people that I know that is down there. And it's a shame. It's a shame, the way people are crying out and they're complaining. And what is being done also to the Imani program. And this was such a good program because I myself came through the Imani program. And what I'm hearing, people keep going through currently under the program. It's a shame because that's not the program that was set from the beginning. That was the program, the intention of the program has been changed. Everything just, it's not the same. And I feel it as a young person. I feel it for the people of Grenada, the young people of Grenada, honestly. And, but all the same is sometimes we have to be careful of the decisions we make, even as it relates to voting. Because sometimes, as a people, God gives us something good and we can't see the good in what God gives us and we don't appreciate it. And so He has allowed others to come and allow us to go through certain things so that we can learn to appreciate, because we had a good leader. And people couldn't see the good in the leader. And so they wanted what they wanted, and now they get what they wanted. And it's just their lives. I'm listening, and every time I'm just wondering, where's the leadership qualities in the Prime Minister? I'm not bashing anybody, but, I just want to say this. Some people was born to be leaders, and some people make themselves leaders. And we had a leader that was born to be a leader, that was raised up by God. And so people choose their choice. And I'm asking myself, and I'm asking the Grenadian people, and I'm calling in the conference of churches to arise, because the church seems to be quiet in everything that is going on. And it's sad. It is very sad, because I must say, as I realize, it was mainly the church that voted in our government that all not say, listen, it wasn't something that was done unknowingly. Because I strongly believe that you must know, other people, if you look into the issues of the nation, you must know what is right and wrong. Yeah? And there's a lot of things that is being done, and even from the offset of things, we could have seen a lot of qualities in these people that we know was not going to play out for the people. A lot of things was being shown that would not.
Hello? Oh boy, and we've lost that caller. Oh boy, caller, I'm so very sorry. I'm not sure what happened there. But the caller was calling from the UK, and as you know, it called, and it's early morning over there. It should be about 1 in the morning, and the caller is up listening to Talking Points. And we'd like to thank you so very much, not just for listening, caller, but for ensuring that you called. And you know something? I showed the firearms that were there. The Prime Minister is focused on ensuring that less licensed firearms come through in this country. So instead of focusing on tightening your borders so that what I showed you all a while ago doesn't come into the country, he is focusing on people like businessmen who are looking to protect themselves and their family when gunmen run in on them. He is focusing on making sure that they have it more difficult. They cannot get a firearm to protect themselves and their family. Yeah, that's his whole focus. He believes that nobody should have. So he is focused on that instead of focusing on interdiction. We have a caller on the line. Good night. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Sheldon, you have a lot of hypocrite people in Grenada. Because,
yes, they are.
Be honest with you, all what going on in Grenada there, you don't hear nothing from Mr. Tillman Thomas. You don't hear nothing from the man who are called himself pastor. You should know what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't say nothing what going on in Grenada.
No, they've got a case of
hypocrite.
They've got a case of mutitis, my brother. They mute.
I believe that. Because a lot of them, with the friends of the earth, all the people and them when they doing in them Lagoon Road, they are talking about the snappers and them when they dirty all I had. With these people and them today, all kind of thing going on in Grenada, I don't hear nobody saying nothing. I mean, watch, anytime I think about that and I listen you play the Prime Minister there, and I don't lie, boy. I don't lie. Grenada, we good. Daddy kind of people elect to life hours every time so? Daddy people elect to life hours? Shall I think about that? And I hear that topic, I was so vexed, Watch, I will keep my peace. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you, my brother. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call. And you can call us via WhatsApp as well. Just letting you all know, you could call us directly, but you can also call us on WhatsApp. If you're outside of Grenada, you have to put 1473-440-7377. Sometimes in some places you need to put a plus sign in front of that. But then you would be able to access us via WhatsApp, right? So plus sign 1473-440-7377. Let me say a special good night to all our St. Lucian listeners. Yes, we have quite a few friends who are listening out of St. Lucia on a nightly basis because they are seeing a mirroring of what is taking place in their country right here in Grenada. And I'll warn us that if each of us does not get behind the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, because the government ain't getting behind them, they're not giving them support, we, the Grenadian people, have to get behind them. Because one of the reasons Grenada has been so safe over the years, in my view, has been that we, the Grenadian people, we doesn't afraid to talk, you know. When we see something, we ain't afraid to talk and say that we see. Yes, I see he passed, he had on that shirt and that hat. That was the shoes he was wearing. He passed down by Miss Mary and he take a left. We talking. And due to that, the police have had a good record. In fact, the Royal Grenada Police Force has the best record in the region in relation to solving crimes. Yeah? But they need the support of each and every one of us, especially now that they're not getting it from the government. I feel it for some of the police officers. You could see they're working and they're stressed. You telling me the police band had to borrow equipment? We're coming up to the 50th anniversary of independence, you know. One of the pillars of the whole independence celebration going to be the Royal Grenada Police Force band. Yet still, with $7 million to spend for the independence celebrations, you ain't buy equipment for the police band. They have to be borrowing equipment from the school's orchestra. That is what's going on. Come on, man. We have to get serious in this place. Instead of the Prime Minister being so focused on, oh, let's try to stop people from getting legal firearms. Let's stop people from getting legal firearms. You want to stop people from getting legal firearms, but meanwhile, illegal firearms are coming into the country, lap and cut. Gun crimes. You have people getting shot just within the last week. Just within the last week, you had one with an attempted robbery using a firearm. Then you had a person getting shot. Count the amount of people that have been killed with firearms, illegal ones to boot. During this year, it hasn't been people with legal firearms going out and kill people out there. You think these people care whatever price you put, and if you say you're doing this or that, they're into illegal activities. They don't really care what you think. They're going to continue doing it, so you have to give people the means to protect themselves. We have a caller online. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller.
How are you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
I am calling on the government, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, to apologize to the country. And I think every Grenadian should stand behind each other for this call.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
think we have taken enough of these lies, and we cannot stand no more of it. Because you cannot tell me you are signing a document as the head of state and you don't read the document. Who are you trying to fool? Come on. Enough is enough. Grenadian, we have to stand up for this injustice that is going ahead. Or you could tell me you sign a document of this importance, right? Because I don't read the document, but I understand there is a lot of good in the document. Yes, we're glad for that lot of good. But at the end of the day, realize that when the devil wanted God to worship him, he gave him the best. He said, all what I need is just for you to bow down. Take everything. Just bow down and worship me. So yes, they will give you good to get at the aim. They will give you everything because they know what their agenda is, and money is nothing for them. Mr. Deacon, whatever you have to do to undo that document, you better undo it, because if you said you didn't read it, it's your fault. So go back and read it and undo it immediately and apologize to the Grenadian public. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And I agree with the caller, and I will add to that somebody needs to go. So if the ambassador wants to take the fall, Mr. Ambassador. I wouldn't end my career after over 2 decades like that. I standing up and say straight up, I get instructions, I letting the Grenadian people know. Because I ain't letting my stellar career after all these years, he was in Cuba all over, go down like that. Or the minister needs to resign. But some sort of resignation needs to take place. Yeah? That's what they're focusing on. Instead of they focus on helping the police to get the rest of these that out there. Now understand something here. Let me point to something for all you. You see, let me bring it up here. Oh, you see that? You see these? That's armor-piercing rounds. That's bullets to go through the police vest and them, the vests that the police have. These rounds here are specially made so that they can bore through. They can pierce bulletproof vests. This is what our brothers and sisters and our children are out there facing right now. And instead of they focus on that, put a AC in the SSU for the special support unit down there. Put a AC inside there, them fellas and them mosquito killing them down there. And you don't have them sleeping head to foot already. Sometimes a man think his foot is slapping our next man. That is what's going on down there. And I'm saying it as a joke, but it's a serious thing. Give some support to the... All I want to know how I know... They need an AC down there. Maybe somebody who's listening, somebody in the business community might be willing to help out our hard-working men and women in the Royal Grenada Police Force. Maybe somebody who's listening might be willing to assist to make sure that they get an AC down there. Yeah? They need an air conditioning unit. If government here want to do it, then as I said, we have to support the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. This is what they're facing out there. Armor-piercing wrongs. Armor-piercing. This is to go through a bulletproof vest and kill them when they think they're safe. Yeah? That's what our men and women in the Royal Grenada Police Force are facing. Yeah? We had to come on this program and speak for months. You had murder after murder, all kind of thing taking place. We had to speak for months to force the Prime Minister, who is the Minister of National Security, to come out and do a press conference and speak to the people about the crime situation in Grenada. Like he waiting for us to end up like what's taking place down in certain parts of St. Lucia and St. Vincent and so on. Like he waiting for us to end up like Trinidad or Jamaica in some of those no-go areas. Yeah? We can't allow our country to go down like that. Instead of focusing on these things and so they're going to look to sign documents that they don't read. Document, listen, that document has in it. Let me get the exact thing here. 1,826 references to the word shall. In other words, they're making sure that you know that you have to do it when you sign it. 1,826 references to the word shall. And you know where they give you the option? Where they say may? That word is in the document only 72 times. In that entire document, 72 times the word may is inside there. So they give you an option in relation to specific things. Only 72 times. And where they give you the option is not in relation to things like gender, inclusiveness and all these things. They didn't say may they. All day they say shall. 1,826 times exactly the word shall is used in that entire document. Yeah? But they run and sign it. And then brave, you know. They're telling you that how they're brave. They're telling you that how they didn't read it. Since July the 14th, the states that were expected to sign that document were given it so that they could, as Mr. Oliver Joseph pointed out last night, they could branch it out. So you have your Ministry of Gender Affairs and so on, that they could get their section of it. They could look at it and say, well, okay, yes, we agree, this is good for Grenada, whatever. That your Ministry of Agriculture could have looked at different parts. That your Ministry of Health, whatever, different departments could have looked at it. You could have given the church community, they could have a look at it. You could give the trade union movement, they could have a look at it. So that all of these different agencies and departments and statutory bodies, etc., could have had a look at that document and given feedback to the government, who would then make a decision, yes, this is good for Grenada, no, this is not good for Grenada, we are going to sign, we're not going to sign. Yeah? But no, they're on a hunt for money. And they know for a fact that if they continue as they are doing up to today, making Russians into Grenadians. They have a factory right now where they are making Russians into Grenadians. I have no problem with Russian people, you know. But the fact is that they are sanctioned. That is a sanctioned country. Due to what is taking place in Ukraine, it is sanctioned internationally. And there will be consequences for the state of Grenada. The United States is looking at this. Not because they ain't talking. You feel them was telling Bin Laden when they was looking at him? You feel they was out there saying, well, we think Bin Laden is in Pakistan. No. When they're ready, they just go and they take him out. So don't feel that they are not looking at what is taking place here in Grenada. Don't think they are not considering the Grenadian passports with Russian names that are appearing at the embassy in Barbados looking for US visas to enter the US. Don't think the Canadians are not looking at the same thing. The Grenadian passports that are suddenly appearing with Russian names, obviously not a Grenadian name, that are looking for visas to enter into Canada. And the European Union, don't think they are not checking at the border now that people with Grenadian passports whose place of birth is not Grenada and they are from a sanctioned state, Russia, are entering with visa-free travel into their countries. All of them watching it, and there will be consequences. Remember, if you don't remember anything tonight, the 28th of November 2023, remember that I told you that there will be consequences to the actions of this NDC administration when it comes to what they are doing, when it comes to Grenada's passport and the 2,000 plus Russians that they are processing now to ensure that they get Grenadian citizenship and passports. There are consequences to the state of Grenada. But these people, they ain't admitting none of that. They want us to stay quiet. We mustn't talk about these things. Yeah? We mustn't say anything about these things. So, nothing is wrong with signing the document. That's okay. And if these people, come on, nonsense. The mere fact that you don't know that they can pass. In fact, they know, you know. But they're trying to give you the impression that they don't know. They're trying to give you the impression that they don't know. And I'm speaking here about people like Mr. Forrester. They're trying to give you the impression that you don't know. It's sickening that people could think that you're so stupid that they could just tell you these things and that you could just believe it. There's nothing wrong with signing it. And there was just a look. What mishap? There's the kind of, in fact, for saying that alone, you should be removed as a diplomat for the statements that he has made and his clear misunderstanding and attempt to willfully mislead the Grenadian people. Mr. Terence Forrester needs to be fired as well. Outside of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. What have these people in all their travels and so brought back for the state of Grenada? There's the only thing we know to bring back, you know, this agreement. That's what they bring back. You hear other people go to Saudi Arabia. You hear Dominica rebuilding the capital. You hear that St. Vincent is building a seaport and all different things. You hear Grenada went and, we met with the prince and we met with that sultan and we met with this member of the Saudi royal family and we had a gala. Yeah, you know they like gala. So I sit down and I listen to the press conference and I waiting to hear, well, yes, boy, how much money we getting out of this one, boy? Let me see. Grenada will get some money to go be able to do the hospital, to go be able to do this, that. No, all you hear is, well, I met with this one and I met with that one and think, what happened? You think he's going to say all you're going to do there is take pictures and sing? Because I can't understand. Yet still, while you gallivanting all over the place, going to CBI stuff on behalf of Henley and Partners, yes, the same Chris Kalin and them when he go in England in the forum there, and so on. And when he go to this other one, was it in Dubai or where? These are the people that they went and meet. It's Henley and Partners, the same people who you heard about within the region with all the things that were involved with Cambridge Analytica. It's the same people that he went and meet. It's their CBI forum that the Prime Minister of Grenada went and speaking, in case you didn't know. So he had time to do all of that. But the document that was signed on behalf of the people of Grenada, he didn't have time to read that. He couldn't even say, well, let me read it on the flight. If he was reading a couple pages on all them flights he take between July and now, he'd have finished that document 3 times over because he take a rail flight. If you're not in Canada, in Florida. If you're not in Florida, in England. If you're not in England, in Dubai. If you're not in Dubai, in Dubai. And if you're not in Dubai, in Dubai. Because apparently Grenada is being run, or capital has moved to Dubai, and therefore our government seems to be based there. So when you're looking for a government minister now, you have to find yourself in Dubai. So I don't know if they have constituency days out there in Dubai, but it seems so, because every time you're looking for a government minister, it's there. Just now you go here, we having cabinet meetings in Dubai, because that's where all the ministers, inclusive of the prime minister, tends to be. These are the things that create and speak of the reality of Grenada in November 2023. We are a few days away from the 2024 budget. I am extremely, tell all you, I've been waiting weeks are telling all you, listen, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I check in to see how close. Weeks I've been waiting to hear what it is they're coming with in the budget. So I see they take lights and they put up lights all over the south and so. So they take lights, for instance, that was supposed to be at Maran playing field for the people of St. John. They take the lights and they bring it down in the south, and they say the excuse is that they had to fix the playing field up there. But yet still they bring it to a playing field with 2 excavators cleaning it. So who's stupid? If the reason you take the lights from one place and you bring it down is the state of the field and you have to do some work there, why is it you bring it down to a field that you're doing work on? Why? Makes absolutely no sense. But folks, as I said, this is the reality of Grenada in 2023. Folks, I've got to run out of here right now. It's been wonderful being here with you. We're going to be on tomorrow night once more, God's willing. Yes, starting at 8 p.m. For those of you, I realize I'm seeing a lot of new people on tonight. We are on Mondays to Thursdays from 8 p.m. till 10. And if you all behave good, not this Friday, but considering budget day is next week, Wednesday, I am pretty sure, near positive, we will be having a Friday program next week. Not this week, but we might even end up with a Saturday program. But we're going to end up definitely with a Friday program next week, God's willing. Yeah? Not this Friday. I know, not this Friday. Forget this Friday. Next week, Friday. All right? So, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. Let me see I want to see more of the likes before you all go. Make sure and hit that like button before you all go. Right? Folks, in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you unconditionally. Until tomorrow night, this is me signing out. Talking Points tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We have a date, and we have more clips and thing to play. Yeah, we have more clips and thing to play.
So much people complaining about the government. I wonder why they complaining when it's only 1 year they spent. They come in and complain to me, which I find strange, because the election victory, majority voted for change. So then I start to wonder, what is some of them seen? Why complain to this fella when they know my color is green? It seems like they don't have patience. That's the reason why. Or something pricking the conscience they just cannot satisfy. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. 13 years we in power, you was in opposition. You won with your propaganda. I really thought you had a plan. You appeal to them old people, push promise in the head. If they only vote for you, pension will be 400. So much seniors they turn out to give you their support. Right now some of them hand to mouth because you lock the throat. $50 you increase, that's not what you promise. And if they have children overseas, you remove the name from the list. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see.
not working. If they only give you a chance, you'll do some improving. You went out to them Imani and make them understand. If they vote for NDC, you giving them a grand. Now you from the government, you bring youth empowerment. All who were getting 700 right now, they're getting a cent. 7 months now they gone home, you leaving them to roam. It seems like the grand you promised them, his grandchildren they bring it home. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Since after the election, supporters threatening